This week, our group will be presenting and explaining the terms immediacy, hypermediacy, and remediation.
Hey y'all, so I'm going to be talking to y'all about immediacy, and I'm going to start off with a couple pictures to give a more clear view of what it is. And I'm going to start off with a picture that says "Every day I'm buffering," which we all know is a loading screen. Then I'm going to go into Angry Boy talking about slow Wi-Fi, to another one talking about slow Wi-Fi, to wanting something now instead of later. And I'm going to have images of quick moving characters, which we all know: Sonic the Hedgehog, the Roadrunner, Quicksilver, the Flash, Quicksilver, the Flash, and the Roadrunner racing, and Dash. And I know some of you are probably going to be asking, what does this have to do with anything? But it all boils down to immediacy. And I know a question is, what is immediacy? So I have some pictures here talking about, I don't know what immediacy is. Immediacy is the direct and instant involvement or action with a sense of urgency or excitement, meaning it's fast paced, it's all consumer based, slow is never an option, and everything is all about the now. And if you're not now, you're irrelevant. And how do we as consumers manipulate the media? In a sense, we manipulate it through FaceTime, online shopping, virtual reality, CGI, and a whole lot more. And that all boils down to interface less versus transparency. Interface less is more face-to-face conversation and is authentic and natural. And it's sincere in ways to avoid a medium for a message to be delivered, and it denies the mediating presence of a computer, meaning that we're all in the same room together, we're face to face, no object in between us, we're communicating almost as if we all had a cookout together. Transparency is more face to medium to face. So it's more virtual reality, 3D, and graphic interface design, and it's seeking to make interface more transparent, meaning that we're making more technological advances to avoid having technology be the medium. It's weird in the way that we're doing it. It's more ironic than anything. Virtual reality is virtual reality. Transparency is a virtual reality, and it fosters the viewer's sense of presence, and it also allows for immediacy of touching, dragging, and manipulating the ideograms, meaning that we can actually manipulate all of technology nowadays with our fingers instead of actually relying on someone else to do it for us. And it shows that in increasing popularity, Hollywood is replacing actors and stuntmen with more CGI, allowing for them to be more open-minded about certain aspects of their work, and it creates more opportunity for the directors. Media is supposed to be virtual reality. It is essentially eliminating the medium or the middleman to get the desired goal one has. And the goal is for technology to maneuver in a way that makes it seem as though the interface does not exist. And problems that occur with mediacy is the loss of human connection and interaction, authenticity, and projection and perspective can always be altered and shaped, meaning that sometimes you won't get the real thing. You'll get something completely different. Immediacy isn't always bad because in the growing society, immediacy means that you're getting something then and there and you're not waiting for it. It means that you're kind of piloting yourself. So those are the pros and cons of immediacy, and that's how we deal with it in today's society.
What is hypermediacy? Hypermediacy makes the viewer accept the medium being viewed as a medium. The logic of hypermedia aims to make the viewer acknowledge the medium's media, whether it's newspaper, radio, internet. It allows the user to be in touch. Hypermedia is also defined as a window style in digital media today. It requires one to navigate and be intensely aware of their media. Which brings us to hypermediacy being a visual style. As William J. Mitchell says, it emphasizes process or performance rather than a finished art object. Hypermediacy is a new media experience born from the marriage of TV and computer technology. It relied on the cathode ray tube, which produces a luminous image on the fluorescent screen used on TVs and computers. It also relied on the transistor, which consisted of amplification and switching. Hypermediacy is made of images, sounds, text, animation, and video, which can be brought together. It's a medium that offers random access, no physical beginning, middle, or end. You can access multiple media. For example, you are listening to music on your phone, you are scrolling through Instagram, Googling something, but yet you are still aware of each media separately. Another example is the desktop. Each window draws your attention separately as well. The multiple representations inside the window, text, graphics, videos, create a heterogeneous space as they compete for the viewer's attention. Icons, menus, and toolbars add further layers and visuals and verbal meaning. Hypermediacy can manifest itself in the creation of multimedia spaces in the physical world, such as theme parks or arcades. For example, Disney World. Disney revolves around sound, text, animations, videos. They're all brought together in one place and include multiple different characters from other media. If you press on the video below, you'll be able to see how Disney does that. Hypermediacy is immediacy's opposite number, an alter ego that has been suppressed fully for long periods of time. While transparent immediacy, the medium's purpose is to disappear, hypermediacy makes us aware of the medium. Hypermediacy expresses itself as multiplicity. If the point of immediacy is to erase or to render automatic the act of representation, hypermediacy does the opposite. It acknowledges multiple perspectives and makes them visible. It multiplies the sign of mediation and attempts to stimulate the sensorism of human experience. Next, we will look at examples of hypermediacy. Each example shows multiple medias combined. The magazine offers different texts and images that stand out separately, but are in one place. As you can see, also the smart TV, it allows for random access, whether you're going to Netflix, Hulu, or searching the web on the TV. Hypermediacy allows us to be intensely aware of the media that we are using.
Remediation. Remediation is defined as the incorporation of one medium to a new medium. The purpose of remediation is to advance the older version of a medium. The fact that remediation exists is a sign of being in a new age of media. One example of remediation are music apps for our phones like Spotify or Apple Music. Some examples of remediation include The Revenant, which was originally a book and then eventually turned into a movie. The second example is the fact that we used to watch television just to get the news, and now we can go on YouTube on our laptops in order to watch the news.
With some in-depth understanding of each of these terms, one can easily form a connection back to ethics and democracy. Immediacy is basically the construction of media which relates as closely as possible back to our own reality. Therefore, we can ask ourselves, for whom is this content relatable for? If, through immediacy, the viewer is meant to relate to the setting or situation portrayed, then it should be relatable or made available to people amongst many different backgrounds. Rather than portray a story geared toward middle-class Caucasians, perhaps the content can target an audience made of other classes and ethnicities. Because immediacy is focused on bringing the audience out of reality, individuals may lose touch with the real world as they sink deeper into their online lives. For example, through the use of virtual reality, people may favor their fantasy world over the real one. Remediation can be related to ethics as well. By using a previous format of media, did the new creators give credit to or ask permission from the original creators? Perhaps those of a higher status could take advantage of lower status people and steal their content and ideas. The Hunger Games franchise was based off the book series of the same name written by Suzanne Collins. Though the producers received Collins' permission and worked closely with her in developing the cinematic world of Panem, the purpose and themes of the books were lost in the translation. The novelized Katniss Everdeen was an independent child with mental health issues like PTSD, while the cinematic Katniss Everdeen was a lovesick young woman who briefly touches PTSD. Due to hypermediacy's multimedia nature, we have become addicted to the internet. For example, mostly everyone is familiar with the term YouTube rabbit hole. Because of YouTube's layout, a viewer is aware of the abundance of videos. While watching one video, pop-ups and sidebars advertise other similar videos to pique your interest. With little self-control, this could lead to hours of watching YouTube. This causes opportunity for shorter attention spans and lack of productivity.